So before you can get started on your make your own happy embroidery kit, you're going to need to hoop up the fabric. So here we have some of the things that you will find in your kit. I have my hoop, I have my pre-printed fabric with the embroidery design already on, which saves you the hassle of having to trace it. We have some wool felt here, and we have some 100% cotton. The wool felt is for the back of your fabric, for the back of your hoop, when you have finished. So you can put that to one side for the moment. And just focus on your pre-printed fabric and your cotton. The reason why you have both pieces of fabric is that when you're stitching, it's a good idea to have two layers. If this was one of my other designs, which didn't have such a dark background colour, then there is a danger that when you hold your design up to the light, you'll be able to see some of the threads through the back, which is not what we want. Also, it makes it much easier with a nice tension in your hoop to have two layers. So to begin with, you are going to lay your pre-printed fabric on top of your cotton. You're then going to separate your hoop. So there is an inner hoop and an outer hoop, and the way that you separate them is just by loosening this screw at the top. Your inner hoop is the one that goes underneath both layers of fabric. So place that down on your surface and put both layers of fabric on the top, trying to centre your design. This will be easier when you put the top layer back on. So you may need to loosen this a little bit more as you place it on top of the fabric and push down to make nice and snug. At this point, you can reposition your fabric so it is central. If you're using a hoop that is smaller than the design you are doing, you will need to place your hoop, do your stitching, and then reposition until it's finished. But all of my kits come with a hoop that is the correct size. So as you can see, it's looking nice and snug, but it's not finished yet. Now we're going to go round and just pull the fabric a little bit down the sides to flatten it out a bit more. And we're going to tighten that screw at the top as tight as we can make it, and pulling that fabric, both layers, down to get rid of those wrinkles that we can see. To make a nice, smooth, taut surface for stitching. Some hoops have a screw which you can tighten with a screwdriver, so you could do that if you find it tricky on your wrists or your fingers to get it nice and tight. It may be that during the stitching process you may need to periodically just pull down your fabric and tighten your screws again, just because the fabric tends to loosen over time and when you're stitching, and that's fine. Just keep it nice and taut, ready for stitching. And that is how you hoop up to start your embroidery project.